Determining an equation, practice number 1. Using this table of values, we'll determine the equation. If x goes up from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, x is going up by 1 each time. If y is going from -5 to -1 to 3 to 7, y is increasing by 4 each time. So now we can determine the pattern. We'll start at our first set of data, which is x is equal to 1 and y is equal to -5. And as x increases by 1, y increases by 4. Step number 2, determine the numerical coefficient. Remember, the formula for the numerical coefficient is going to be the change in y divided by the change in x. The change in y is going to be 4, and the change in x is going to be 1. So the numerical coefficient is going to be 4 divided by 1, which is equal to 4. Step number 3, determine the constant. Using the main formula, we can replace the numerical coefficient with the actual number, which is 4. So now we have y is equal to 4 times the variable plus or minus the constant. We'll pick the first set of data, which is x is equal to 1 and y is equal to -5, and we'll plug them in our formula. So it's going to be -5 is equal to 4 times 1 plus or minus the constant. -5 is equal to 4. Now how do we get from 4 to -5? To get from 4 to -5, we're going to have to take away 9. So it's going to be 4 minus 9. When you have this, we'll add the opposite. So it's going to be 4 plus -9. And 4 positives and 9 negatives is going to give us an answer of -5. So -5 is going to be equal to -5. Therefore, the left-hand side does equal the right-hand side, and therefore we have our formula. So our constant is going to be -9. Now that we have the formula, we're going to verify the equation. Does the left-hand side equal the right-hand side? So we'll pick any set of data. We'll go with x is equal to 2 and y is equal to -1. We'll plug them in our formula and we'll solve. So y is equal to 4 times x minus 9. Y is -1 and x is going to be 2. So it's going to be -1 is equal to 4 times 2 minus 9. 4 times 2 is 8. So we're going to have -1 equals 8 minus 9. We'll add the opposite. So instead of saying 8 minus 9, it'll be 8 plus -9. And 8 positives and 9 negatives is going to be -1. So -1 equals -1. Therefore, the left-hand side does equal the right-hand side, and therefore our formula does work. We'll test our formula out again with a different set of data. Let's try x is 4 and y is 7. So y is going to be 7 and x is going to be 4. Replace them in our formula. 7 equals 4 times 4 minus 9. 4 times 4 is 16. 7 is equal to 16 minus 9, which is also 7. Therefore, the left-hand side does equal the right-hand side, and our formula does work again. So now we can be certain that our formula is correct.